Imagine not even having to look at your screen and being able to get boss pets. That was the entire reason that I spent 60 hours in the last video getting full Guthans, because this is a concept I really want to explore in depth. Now the reason that this is possible is because of the relics that I chose. The first one being Fluid Strikes, which increases my attack speed, accuracy, and reduces the damage that I take. And then of course this coupled with my tier 6 relic, which all of my hits have a 50% chance of restoring my hit points and prayer by 10% of the damage that I've dealt. You can imagine that in certain situations this could be really powerful. Now I plan on stacking these effects, potentially with Guthans if it's needed, which has a chance of just healing you the full damage you deal, and also with a Blood Fury, which also has a chance of healing you for a certain percentage of the damage that you deal. If I put all of these healing resources together and Draining Strikes keeps my prayer up if I'm doing enough damage, I could AFK a lot of bosses. Well, the last video was an absolute grind. This guy's just blocking my view here. We did so many Barrows chests to get full Guthans, and you guys are probably wondering why it's not already in my inventory. Well, the reason for that is I want to do some comparing. So the first thing I want to do, as you can probably guess based on my location, is the fight caves. Now, I know that some other people like It's Will have done this with ranged, and they were able to fully AFK the whole caves. I don't think that I will be able to do that against Jad specifically, but I think that even with Bandos, we might be able to just AFK the whole cave except for Jad. So that's kind of my goal, and that's where we're going to start. If I can't do it with Bandos, we'll try it again with Guthans and see if that makes a difference. So my prediction that I'm actually worried about with AFKing the whole caves isn't necessarily that I'm going to run into problems with HP, maybe at the mages, because I have to be in melee distance of them. It's actually that I'm going to run out of prayer because it takes so long for NPCs to actually path towards me. So I guess we'll see what happens. If I start to run low, I'll record and see what wave we got to, just fully AFKing. Alright, so we are finally at the mage waves, and now my concern is less about if I'm going to run out of prayer, because we were kind of towing the line a bit there, and now I'm concerned with if we're going to run out of health. The reason this is so much worse than AFK ranging the caves is because I have to, obviously, as a meleeer, be in melee distance, and I'm probably going to die from that. Yeah, I'm almost definitely going to die from that. So, I don't know. I don't think that this is... Yeah, there it goes. I don't think this is going to be something that's realistic to do, because the meleeers are just going to chomp me down like that every time. Okay, so we're going to try this out with the Blood Fury now, because I have plenty of hits left on it. I can always just AFK to get more Furies, which is kind of the entire point of this video, is to AFK to get more blood shards, AFK to do Jad, maybe Bandos, whatever. So we're going to try this out and see if the extra healing and defense from the Blood Fury ends up helping us out. I don't know if it will or not, but that's the whole point, is just trying to find out. Well, we got all the way back up to wave 32, and I haven't really seen any problems. The Blood Fury is definitely better, but you'll notice I'm not getting attacked, and I'm going to have to make my first click right here, because the previous mage spawned where I was just standing up in the north, and the next wave started with the mage spawning in the south. Because of the way that I got dragged, it literally just ended up spawning in a safe spot, so I actually couldn't attack it. So, unfortunately, this is not the fully AFK caves up to Jad. I mean, I guess that could probably be fixed based on your rotation in the fight caves, but I mean, I guess only having to click once every 15 minutes is probably not that big of a deal either. Alright, so it happened again. It's basically anytime I get dragged over here, I'm going to have to click back to the center, because the things are going to keep getting safe spotted back there, unless something else auto-retaliates me back to the middle. So yeah, to say that this is like 100% AFK up until Jad would just not be true, because, I mean, if it happens 2 times in a single fight cave, I imagine that means it's probably going to happen every fight cave. So I do see some slight problems with this. As you can see, the mages can actually still hit pretty hard. So there were a couple times when we got, I wouldn't necessarily say chanced, but, you know, depending on what you hit first, there's some potential issues that could arise. But we got all the way up to Jad with only 2 clicks because of those 2 times we got stuck. And this is where I'm going to actually pay attention, because the Jad itself takes like less than 30 seconds. As you can see, I'm pretty much absolutely destroying it. This cave was actually a lot faster than I expected, 32 minutes. I'm really happy with that. I mean, that means we can get about 2 caves per hour, and this pet won't take long at all, considering we can just fully AFK it and assign ourselves Jad tasks. So with full Bandos, I would say that the fight caves is probably like 70-30 success to fail, so you're more likely to succeed than to fail with this particular gear. However, some people pointed out in my chat, because I was streaming that first one, that instead of wearing Bandos, I could consider wearing some Barrow's armor, since we got so much of it in the last video, since it has a lot higher melee defenses at the cost of just a few strength bonus. So the Varric skirt I know is not the tankiest leg piece, but it'll replace the prayer bonus that we're losing by taking off the Bandos, and this drastically increases our melee defense, which should definitely level out the RNG, and I would say probably push the success rate more to like the 90% region. There's another Jad down. Again, I'm only really going to be clicking against the Jads. Everything else, that cave went a lot smoother than the first one. 100% AFK'd except for the Jad. So far, the only downside to this is the fact that you have to wait like 5 minutes in between fight cave attempts, which is kind of strange. There is 5 fight caves completed, and the pet! Okay! Pretty freaking nice. That is, I mean, okay. That is the best time to, okay. Wow. So, this is my 3rd pet on the Trailblazer League, and I actually really wasn't expecting to get that there. I was waiting to do like 15 capes, and I was thinking, man, there's a lot of points for 15 capes. I might still go for it, but at this point, it kind of feels dumb. Wow. Alright, that's it's another boss pet. That kind of makes up for all of our bad luck at Barrows. I mean, I'll take a Jad pet, that's pretty awesome. Now, we are over here at Steve with a 198 task streak, and because my task streak is so close to 200, which is the highest league task for Slayer streaking, I decided that I would go ahead and extend Mithril Dragons to just make it a bit more AFK, so I don't have to come back here as often. I almost completely missed it, even though I was just talking about it. There is the final Slayer streak task on the Trailblazer League, which is 250 points for 200 Slayer tasks. So I'll take that, very nice. I'm still going to be doing Slayer tasks, obviously, because it provides me with... Okay, if I could teleport, that'd be great. It provides me with extra DPS, so extra DPS is always good. But that's the last relevant task. So I'm just going to go ahead and be 100% honest with myself here. I've been picking up a lot of these mithril bars because they're noted, which is convenient, and a lot of these alks and other things, but I really don't see myself getting 25 million smithing XP. I would need to kill like 5,000 mithril dragons, and realistically, even if I'm AFKing, I never see myself killing 5,000 mithril dragons, so I'm just gonna AFK even harder, and just not even loot them. Also, my luck on chewed bones has not really improved since the last time I've been here. In like 1,400 kills, we only have 21, which is pretty bad, actually. So, hoping that that catches back up to the rate soon. The real test begins. Bandos. Now, keep in mind, it's pretty unlikely that I'll be able to just like AFK here for 4 hours at a time, mostly due to the combat logging. Even if I were to be able to AFK kill Bandos, I would get logged out in between kills anyway. So, the main goal is to be able to just AFK for about 2 to 3 minutes at a time here, not have to teleport out and teleport back in, just be able to AFK and just click once or twice on the screen every couple of minutes to keep myself logged in. So that's what we're going to try. Hopefully it works. I'm going to start with this setup because it's tanky, but it's also very high DPS. I might have to bring like the BGS to spec at the beginning of the kill and then AFK after that. I guess we'll see. To those of you who have gotten a lot luckier at TOB than me, I honestly think you'd be able to just do this in full Justy and a Rapier. You probably wouldn't need the Guthans, but full Justy, Rapier, and a Blood Fury, you'd probably be able to fully AFK Bandos. I feel like this is also fairly obvious to say, but another reason why I wouldn't be able to AFK completely in the room is because I have to click the boss when he spawns, otherwise I'll just be smacking the minions at first. So we're going to try this setup. I brought the BGS just to see in case this doesn't work. But basically what we're going to do is we're just going to click the boss and hope that we do enough damage to never have to click again. I don't think we'll be able to, but I don't know. We're kind of slapping right now. Well, this is my 5th kill, and so far we haven't really had any substantial problems. Again, this could be kind of just an RNG thing. Like right now we're getting ranged pretty heavily and just getting lucky by tanking it. But, I mean, this is pretty chill. I'm just switching to my BGS and putting on Prey Mage on the minions. So, again, not entirely AFK, but insanely low effort. I haven't had to use any Prey Potions. I've only used food to pick up loot. So, I mean, I'd say that's a pretty big win. Makes me feel horrible about how long I was grinding Guthans, considering it doesn't seem to be necessary at all. Alright, I have to do it. Just for the sake of testing, I have to use the Guthans, because man, I spent so long getting this, it would be a shame if I didn't even use it at all. I've also opted to switch into the Guardian Boots, again at the cost of 2 melee strength, but gaining like 20 or 30 range defense over the Prims. It's probably overkill, but maybe it's worth it, I don't know. I mean, it works. Clearly it works, it's just... The thing about this is, even though it works, if I can get away with using the whip, that would be substantially higher DPS. So, unless there's like insane inconsistencies with the whip, it kind of just makes sense to use that instead of the Guthans. But oh my god, look at all that healing. Alright, so once this kill pops up here, like once Bandos respawns, we're going to try 1 hour of using this gear for low effort Bandos, and then 1 hour of using the other gear. And kind of comparing to see if I have to eat it all, and we'll find the little differences. So, I guess I'll start it right now. So I'm going to leave up a background clip of one of my worst kills that I got. I only did this for about 30 minutes because I don't even see any point of going for the entire hour. This one clip alone should kind of summarize, and I really, really don't want to say this, but it feels like Guthans is actually worse than Bandos, which really pains me to say, but I wasn't really doing enough damage to be able to sustain my prayer, which having high DPS is important in order for draining strikes to be able to keep my prayer at full. I even had to use the altar once during that 20 minutes, so and as you can see, my health wasn't exactly staying at full the entire time. Sure, that could have just been a bad kill, but this was happening on almost every kill. So I'm gonna just try out with the max strength gear now, or max strength that I have at least, and see if this is more consistent in terms of AFK ability. Alright, we're gonna try an hour in this gear now, and see if I can sustain during that entire hour. If I can, I'll just stay here for like 100 kills or something. Alright, so this is going to be our last kill of the hour using my rendition of max strength. I know people are going to be like, you're missing some pieces of it. But obviously I swapped out some for defensiveness, like I said earlier, the boots and the helmet. And we got about 30 kills. Well, actually we got exactly 30 kills once this one is done. As you can see, I have not used any food. Technically, I've picked up a couple sharks, and on some really bad kills, I think in total I've had to eat like 3 sharks. But I've just been given all that back by the minions. So I basically use no food. This is how I've been doing every kill. Sometimes I'll switch to Prey Mage on the minions, but it's pretty much just AFKable once you click the boss, which is really, really nice. And like I mentioned, DPS is important because the more damage I'm doing, not only the more am I healing, but the more my prayer is sustaining itself. So I didn't have to hit the altar or drink a single dose of prayer potion this entire time. Now, would I say this method is 100% AFK? No, because you have to click the boss and occasionally switch prayer, sometimes weapons on the minions. I would argue that it's very, very low effort, as it's like 2 to 3 clicks per kill. So, definitely worth doing if you have the same relics as me. It's also worth noting, like I said, that I'm only getting 30 kills an hour doing this, but this is incredibly low effort. If you are teleporting out and teleporting back in, not killing the minions and avoiding the respawn time, you can very easily get like 70 plus kills an hour at Bandos, but it's also substantially higher effort. Because of what we found out about the DPS issue, I really can't think of anywhere else to try out full Guthans, but if you guys have any ideas, please let me know in the comments. I'd be very interested. I'm really happy we got it still, just to test the meme. You know, it was definitely worth it, if for no other reason than to test the meme. But I'm pretty happy with this video. I mean, we got some Jads killed, we tested some stuff at Bandos, and we got ourselves our 4th pet. 3rd on Trailblazer League, technically, but 4th overall, considering we have SCOTUS from the previous one. So if you guys enjoyed, as always, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Again, probably not uploading daily until the end of the league. And I think at this point, we're just going to wrap up some points and probably call it from there.
Baby, but you know I never will. No. sound just like a